Welcome to EPG Pathshala Spanish. My name is Nabil Ansari and I teach Spanish in the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian and Latin American Studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. We're in the paper entitled Spanish Grammar 1. In this module entitled Me gusta la mañana, me gustas tú, you will learn how to use verbs gustar and doler for expressing like and dislike, and also if you have some problems related to body parts. In order to do so, we also have to focus on the object pronouns and their connection with the above verbs. Now, the pronominal verbs like gustar and doler and which are conjugated according to these two verbs will be dealt with in great detail in the grammar paper 3. Now, the use of pronominal verbs is different from other verbs. The fact that they use pronouns creates a new structure which you need to learn. The rules and use of pronominal verbs are given ahead, taking as an example the verb gustar. So, in order to say you like something or you like doing something, Spanish uses the verb gustar. It is used with the indirect object pronoun, that is me, te, le, nos, os, les, which refers to the person who likes the object. Gustar is conjugated as gusta and gustan. It always takes the definite article. So the definite articles are el, la, los, las. So it will always take the definite article when it comes before a noun. Now let's see the uses of gustar. But before that, let's talk about the daily routine that we follow. So there are many activities that we like to do in our free time. They can be leisure activities or hobbies or pastimes. In Spanish, they can be called actividades de ocio or aficiones or pasatiempos. We'll be talking about such activities now. But before that, first listen to a conversation that takes place between two friends, that is Nerea and Luis.
A continuación, Luis y Nerea hablan de sus aficiones. Hola Nerea, ¿a dónde vas?
Voy a jugar al tenis.
¿Cuántas veces juegas a la semana?
2 veces a la semana, los lunes y los miércoles.
¿Qué haces los fines de semana?
Los fines de semana me gusta quedar con mis amigos e ir al cine a veces.
Pues me gusta relajarme los fines de semana. Normalmente los domingos por la mañana hago gimnasia y luego navego por internet. Escucho la música y veo la tele.
¿No sales? ¡Qué aburrido!
In the dialogue, Luis and Nerea talk about their likes and dislikes with regards to the leisure time activities. They have used the verb gustar for talking about their likes and dislike. We will now learn the use of the verb gustar and how the gustar is used in Spanish. So the gusta form is used with a singular noun. So gustar will only be conjugated in gusta and gustan. So the gusta form is used with a singular noun, meaning if we like something which is singular in nature. For example, if I say me gusta la universidad. So la universidad here is singular, that is a university. So we'll use me gusta. Same way, if I want to say you like something, so I will say te gusta. So if I say te gusta el reloj, that means you like the watch. Now if I want to say he, she or you like something, then I will say le gusta. So, for example, le gusta el libro. It can mean he likes or she likes or you like the book. Now this third person singular we will see in detail later on. Now if we want to say we like something, then we will say nos gusta. So for example, nos gusta la ciudad means we like the city. So if I want to say you all like something, then I will say os gusta. For example, os gusta la ciudad means you like the city, plural. And same way, if I want to say they like or you all like in a formal way in plural, then I will say les gusta. When an example is les gusta el hotel, meaning they like or you all like the hotel. So here, as we have seen with various examples, gusta is used when the noun is singular. So in these examples, as we have seen, all the nouns are singular in nature. For example, the university is like the universidad, la universidad, the watch, el reloj, the book, el libro, la ciudad, that is the city, house is la casa, and hotel is el hotel. So all of these the nouns are in singular. Now gusta can also be used when there is a verb. So if we say we like doing something, so the form gusta will be used. So in Spanish, when two verbs come together, the second verb is not conjugated and it remains in infinitive form. So if I want to say I like eating, so in this sentence there are two verbs. First one is to like and the second one is eat. So this for this we will use gusta. So if I say I like eating, then that will be said as me gusta comer. If I say you like doing something, then I will say same thing, te gusta, and then after that I will use the verb. So if I say you like traveling, then that will be said as te gusta viajar. If I want to say he or she likes or you like doing something, then I will use le gusta. So if I say he likes watching movies, so to watch movie is ver películas. So the same can be said as le gusta ver películas. And if I want to say she likes watching movie, then I will say le gusta ver películas. And you like watching movies, also it will remain same, that is le gusta ver películas. But just to clarify who the subject, we can add a él meaning he, a ella meaning she, and a usted meaning you. If you add the subject pronoun, then it will make clear who is the person who likes watching movies. Same way, if you want to say we like doing something, then we will say nos gusta. For example, we like reading books can be said as nos gusta leer libros. And if we say you all like something, then it will be os gusta. So for example, if I say you like to swim, that is in plural informal, then it can be said as os gusta nadar, because the to swim is nadar in Spanish. And if we say they like doing something, so it will be said as les gusta. So for example, if I say they like to dance, and then this will be said as les gusta bailar. And if you want to say you all like to dance, then also it remains same, that is les gusta bailar. But as it is third person singular and it can create confusion, so just to clarify who is the subject, we can add a ellos or a ellas before saying les gusta bailar. Or we can add a ustedes if you are saying you all, just to clarify that the doer is a ustedes, that is you all. Now these were the uses of the gusta form, that is gusta is used with the noun in singular, as well as gusta is used when there is a verb which comes after the verb gusta, that is when I say I like doing something. The gustan form is used with a plural noun. It means that if I like something which is plural, or if I am expressing my likings or my disliking about something which is plural, then I will use gustan. So if I say I like chocolates, then it can be said as me gustan los bombones. Gustan because I am referring to something which is plural. In English, I say chocolates, which is plural. That's why it will be me gustan. Same way, if I say you like watches, then it will be said as te gustan los relojes. And if in the third person I say he like books, it will be said as le gustan los libros. Same way she likes books, then it will be said as same thing, le gustan los libros. And if I say you like books, that is in a formal way, then also it will be le gustan los libros. Now just to clarify, because this is third person singular, whether when I say le gustan los libros, it might create a doubt in the mind of the person who is listening. So just to clarify, we will add a l if you want to say he likes. We will add a ella if you want to say she likes, and we will add a usted if you want to say you like. So in third person singular, we can clarify who is the person who likes by adding a l, a ella, or a usted. Same way, if you want to say we like something, then we will say nos gustan if what we like is plural. For example, if we say we like cities, then it can be said as nos gustan las ciudades. And if you want to say you all like something which is plural, so we will say no os gustan. Os gustan. For example, if you say you like houses, so it will be os gustan las casas. If I say they like something which is plural in nature, then it can be said as les gustan. For example, if I say they like the hotels, so it will be les gustan los hoteles. Or if I say you or you all like hotels, which hereby I am using you as in formal communication, that is to give respect. So I will say les gustan los hoteles. Now as this is third person plural and it has got many subject pronoun, that is they or you all. So in order to clarify who is actually liking or who is actually doing the action, so we will say a ellos meaning they, or a ellas meaning they, and we will add a ustedes meaning you or you all in formal way. So as you must have paid attention to the form written as a mí, a ti, a él, a ella, a usted, a nosotros, a nosotras, a vosotros, a vosotras, a ellos, a ellas, a ustedes, written in a bracket before these sentences. So this is actually to clarify who is the doer or to remove the ambiguity. And it is more so in third person singular and plural. Third person singular means where we have written a él, a ella, or a usted, which I have explained that to remove this doubt who is the person who is liking it. So we say a él if it is he, a ella if it is she, and a usted if it is you formal. Same in plural, we have written a ellos, a ellas, or a ustedes. This is also to clarify who is the doer, who is the person who is liking their thing. So if it is they, then we can say I, ellos or I, ellas. Or if it is you all formal, then we will say a, ustedes. And when there is no ambiguity, for example, in the yo form, because yo form can only be used for I, then if I say a mí and then say something, then it means that I am putting emphasis on myself. Just to explain it, if I say me gustan los bombones, it means I like chocolates. But if I say a mí me gustan los bombones, then it will mean that I am putting emphasis on the fact that it is I who likes chocolate. Same way, to form is also does not create any ambiguity. So to form is also clear that it is used for you in an informal context. So if I say te gustan los relojes, it means you like watches. But if I add a ti before this, it means that I'm emphasizing the fact that it's you who like watches. Same way, in the nosotros and nosotras form and vosotros or vosotras form, there is no ambiguity. So we add the subject pronoun here with the preposition a, that is a nosotros or a nosotras, just to emphasize the fact that it is we or it is you all who like the they thing or who like doing something. Now remember, if you want to deny an action with this kind of verbs, simply add no before the pronoun. For example, if I say me gustan los chocolates, means I like the chocolates. And if I want to say I don't like the chocolates, so I can simply add no before the sentence. That is, if I say no me gustan los chocolates, means I don't like chocolates. So in order to say I don't like, or you don't like, or he, she, or we, or they don't like, simply add no before the sentence. So when you say me gusta la universidad, now as I mentioned that in the yo form, when I say me gusta algo, so there is no ambiguity. So that can only mean that it is only I who like the university. But if I add the prepositional phrase, that is a mí, so it is just to add emphasis on the fact that I like the university. So be very careful when to use the prepositional phrase. So if you are using I or you form informal, then there is no need to say a mí, a ti, etc. And also if you are using nosotros form as well as, that is we like or you all like informally, that is nosotros, nosotras and vosotros, vosotras form, then also there is no need to say nosotros or nosotras or vosotros or vosotras with a sentence. But it is only necessary when we are using third person singular, that is he likes, she likes, or you like, or third person plural, that is they like or you all like formally. Then only we use the prepositional phrase, that is a él, a ella, a usted, etc. to clarify. Or in the third person singular, if for example there is Maria who likes something, then we will say a Maria. If it is John who likes something, then we will say a Juan. So if we third person singular, in the third person singular, if it's the name of the person mentioned, so we will add the preposition a before the name, and then we will say what that person likes. For example, let's see, if I say le gusta la ciudad, then le gusta la ciudad can be used for it is a third person, and it can be used for many people. For example, it can be used to refer to he, that is he likes the city, or she likes the city, or you like the city, or John likes the city, or Maria likes the city, etc. So Now to remove that out, we will just add a and then the subject, and then we will say this sentence, and then it will become clear. So let's see two examples here. For example, if I say, a usted le gusta la ciudad, meaning you like the city, formal. A Maria le gusta la ciudad, it means Maria like the city. Same way it goes for plural. I repeat, if we say les gusta descansar, it means they like to rest. And if we add the subject, which is plural in nature, then it becomes necessary to clarify it by adding the prepositional phrase. So for example, a mis padres les gusta descansar, meaning my parents like to take rest. A ellos les gustan los bombones, meaning they like chocolates. So here, as we have mentioned, a mis padres and a ellos, then it is very clear that to whom we are referring to when we are saying something. Now, remember that gustar is conjugated only in two ways, that is gusta and gustan. So it would be wrong if you say me gustó la universidad. It will always be me gusta la universidad, as it is not conjugated like a normal AR ending verb, but it is a pronominal verb and it will be conjugated differently. So let's see some of the options which we can use for telling what we like or don't like. So here you can see, if you want to say I like something a lot or I like something very much, how can we say these things? So we will say this. For very much we will use muchísimo. For a lot we will use mucho. For quite a lot we will use bastante, and for a little we will use un poco. For example, if I say me gusta muchísimo, then something, it means I like very much. If I say me gusta mucho, it means I like a lot. If I say me gusta bastante, it means I like quite a lot. And if I say me gusta un poco, it means I like a little. So this muchísimo, mucho, bastante, un poco can be used for other subject pronoun as well. That is, if I say you like a lot, or he, she likes a lot, or we like a lot, etc., or we like very much, or we like quite a lot, or we like something a little. So these forms can be added to the gusta conjugation. So let's understand this with some examples. So if the sentence is I like watching Indian movies a lot, so we'll say me gusta mucho ver películas indias. So as you have already seen, me gusta mucho means a lot. So if I say me gusta mucho ver películas indias, it means I like watching Indian movies a lot. And if someone asks, or if I ask someone, ¿te gusta viajar? Meaning, do you like traveling? So the person can reply, sí, me gusta un poco, meaning yes, I like a little. Or if you like a lot, then you can say sí, me gusta mucho, meaning I like a lot. Or you can also say sí, me gusta bastante, meaning I like quite a lot. And if you don't like, then you can simply say no me gusta. That we have already seen. Now let's see another example. If I say I like Spanish culture a lot, then I will say a mí me gusta muchísimo la cultura española. So muchísimo means very much or a lot. So here in this sentence, when we say a mí me gusta muchísimo la cultura española with the prepositional phrase a mí, it means that we are also stressing the fact that it is I to whom this Spanish culture is, or it is I who like the Spanish culture. Same way as we mentioned that in order to say the same thing in negative, that is, if I don't like something, then we can say it with a no. For example, if someone asks, os gusta nadar? Do you all like swimming? And if we don't like, then we can say no. No nos gusta mucho, meaning no, we don't like much. So this was one example stating that we don't like doing something. Same way, in order to say anything that you don't like or that we don't like, we can simply say by putting the no before the sentence. For example, if the question is ¿Te gusta ver películas? Meaning, do you like watching movies? And if you don't like, then you can simply say no. No me gusta nada. That is, no, I don't like watching movies. Now let's talk about leisure activities when we are talking about our liking and disliking. So what do you like doing in your free time? You can think of many things that we do when we have free time. Below are some of the activities which Saurabh usually does during his vacations. For example, the activities are viajar en tren, meaning to travel in train, jugar al cricket, meaning to play cricket, leer novelas, meaning to read novels, hacer ejercicios, meaning to exercise, ir de compras, meaning to go shopping, nadar en el mar, meaning to swim in the sea, correr en el parque, meaning to run in the park, montar en bicicleta, meaning to ride a bicycle, esquiar en la montaña, meaning to ski in the mountain, visitar a sus parientes, meaning to visit his or her relatives, y ver la televisión, meaning to watch TV. Apart from these activities, there are other activities that we do in our free time depending on what we like. For example, tocar la guitarra, which means to play guitar, salir de copas, which means to go out for drinks, comer en el restaurante means eat in the restaurant, pasear después de cenar, meaning to go for a walk after dinner, tomar el sol, meaning to sunbathe, hablar por teléfono, meaning to speak on phone, estudiar en casa, meaning to study at home, cantar sus canciones favoritas, meaning to sing his or her or their favorite songs, and bailar en la discoteca, meaning to dance in the discotheque. Now we will listen to Saurabh and know what he has to say about his likes and dislikes. Now let's listen to what he has to say.
Bueno, en mi tiempo libre me gusta mucho leer las novelas. Me gusta tocar la guitarra, salir de copas con mis amigos. Los fines de semana me gusta comer en el restaurante chino y pasear después de comer. Me gustan muchísimo los bombones. En cuanto a los deportes, me gusta mucho montar en bicicleta, esquiar en la montaña y jugar al cricket. También me gusta ir de compras en el centro comercial, que está cerca de mi casa. No me gusta mucho viajar en autobús, porque hay mucha gente. Tampoco me gusta nada estudiar.
So this was a kind of a general introduction about about saying what we like or what we don't like in Spanish by using the verb gustar. Now there are other verbs also which are used in the same way as the verb gustar that you have just learned. So in this module we are just going to see one more verb, that is doler. So this module is kind of introduction for these pronominal verbs, and the other pronominal verbs and its use can be seen in the grammar paper intermediate level, that is grammar paper number 3. Now the verb doler is also used like gustar, and doler means to hurt. It means that when we want to say that okay, our body parts are hurting or any part of our body are paining or hurting, then we use doler. And doler also follows the same structure of the gusta. That is, doler will be conjugated as duele and duelen. Duele will be used with noun which is singular, and also with the noun. Duele will be used with a noun which is singular, and duelen will be used with a noun which is plural. For example, if I say I'm having a stomach ache, so the stomach is in Spanish el estómago. So the same can be said as me duele el estómago. If I want to say I'm having headache, so the head is la cabeza, and the same can be said as me duele la cabeza. But if I want to say my eyes are hurting, so this eyes is plural, and in Spanish the eyes is said as los ojos. So I will say me duelen los ojos. Thus it is used when you want to say if any body part is hurting or aching. Since it is used for telling which part of our body is paining or hurting, it would be fruitful at this stage to learn to say how to say certain body parts in Spanish. So let's see certain body parts in Spanish. El cuerpo humano. So we'll start with la cabeza, meaning head, el hombro, meaning shoulder, el cuello, meaning neck, la mano, meaning hand, or las manos, meaning hands, el dedo, meaning finger, los brazos, meaning arms, piernas, leg, rodilla is knee, dedos de pie is finger from the leg, and pie is feet. Apart from these, there are some other vocab that are, and I might repeat some of the vocab that we have just seen about the body parts. So they are la cabeza as head, oreja that is ear, ojo that is eye, la cara that is face, el diente that is tooth, la nariz, nose, la garganta, throat, el cuello, neck, el pecho, which can be chest or breast, el brazo is arm, el dedo, finger, la boca, mouth, el estómago, stomach, la mano, hand, el pie, foot, la pierna, leg, la piel, skin, la lengua is tongue, el hueso is bone, la sangre is blood, el corazón is heart, el hombro is shoulder, el músculo is muscle, and la rodilla is knee. Now Mohan is not feeling well, so there is a person who is called Mohan and is not feeling well. So let's read the text for knowing what happened to him in a conversation that takes place in the doctor's clinic. Now pay attention to the use of the verb gustar and doler. So you can read the text, and also we are going to put this conversation in the audio also. Thus in this module you have learned the use of the verb gustar and doler, and how the verb gustar can be used for telling our likes and dislikes, and how the verb doler can be used for describing which part of our body is hurting or paining. So having said that, if you want to practice more, if you want to do exercises, and if you want to also see the transcription as well as the translation of the audio, you can refer back to the e-text. And apart from that, e-text has also got links which will take you to various websites where you can learn more about the things that we have covered in this chapter. Thank you.